Hey everybody, Kurt Othmer here from EEG Info, and there is a new version of Cygnet available. I want to show you how to install it. There's three main ways. You can use the USB stick that's got the files on it. You can go in Cygnet to help about and check for updates. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. And the third is, if you've already downloaded the files using the web installer or using that check for updates link, and perhaps you rebooted or for one reason or another you didn't install right away after they downloaded, you want to wait for your session to finish, for instance, then I want to show you where those files are after they download so that you can go get them later and install those. Now, before you begin, I want you to get Windows updates. Make sure you've got all your Windows updates installed before you install Cygnet. And to do that, let me show you how to do that. We go here to the Start button in Windows, and then this little gear. And under the gear, you're going to see Update and Security. Click on that, and then press the button that says Check for Updates. Now, for some of you, there might be a lot of updates there. So I want you to give it time, let it check for updates, reboot as necessary, make sure everything is installed. And now let's begin the installation. If you're coming from Cygnet, so your current version of Cygnet, go to Help and About, and click on Check for Updates. And from that little screen that opens, hit Download Update. This will open a web browser, and different web browsers put your downloaded file in different places. Here in this browser, it's down here in the bottom left. Click on that file, run that file. That's going to open a little installer, and that web installer downloads the files. So here, as we hit Next, it's going to launch this little downloader utility. This downloader utility is going to run, and you see that downloading. I'm going to speed this up for you here, but basically it's going to download these huge files. If you're on slower internet, this can take 24 hours to download. If you're on faster internet, this might be 10-15 minutes. Once it's done installing, it'll show you this little message. If you want to launch it now, just hit yes, and that will launch the Cygnet installer. Once the Cygnet installer starts, just hit OK and let it proceed. Alternatively, if you have the USB stick from the Summit or you've purchased a USB stick online, you can go to this PC and it'll show up as Cygnet 205 there. Click on that, go to this folder that says 2.0.5.8, and then there, click on the little blue one that says Cygnet 2.0.5. If you've downloaded it from the web installer, but you didn't install it, maybe you rebooted or for some reason you didn't install, go here to C and then org files. If you have multiple downloads in there from previous years, go to this one, Cygnet 2.0.5. Click on that and run it and click OK. And that's going to run your installer. Hit Next. I accept the agreement. I confirm that my computer meets the specifications. Next, 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 all the way through. This install can take an hour on some slower computers. It takes a while, give it time. Once that's done, hit Next and Finish. Up comes Cygnet. There's this little confirming the serial number. And then finally, once you have the new Cygnet installed, you're going to have the new Arcade, which has Captain Corgi and all of these amazing games in it. You're going to have the new Virtual Reality, which does require a high-powered computer, and it does require a virtual reality headset like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift. Somebody just told me there was a really cheap deal on Amazon for a $399 Oculus Rift, but the Vive is like $800 or something. So it's expensive to get into that, but you're going to have those available in Cygnet in trials, and you try that out, and it's really, people are really excited about that. And I just want to show you a really cool thing over here in the right panel. So if you go over here to the right panel, you go to your client list, you can search at the top and it shows your client names. I can hit select client. If I selected the wrong client, I can hit go back and it takes me back to my list. I select the right client. I can hit edit name and I can rename that client. So if I typed in the wrong name, I can rename that client. I can search for another client and search for Sam here. And now hit archive and it'll say, are you sure? And we're going to archive Sam, put him in the history. And let's add a client that we don't have yet. So if I search for a client and his name's not there, I can add Mr. Tom Hanks here. And then I hit play on the session, and then when I hit stop, and that client will be there and the session will be saved there. Another thing is when I'm setting up electrode placements, I can actually subtract over on the right, I can actually subtract individual electrode placements, not just the bottom one on the list, but I can go up to the top and subtract any of those electrode placements. So really cool new things in the brand new Cygnet. Check it out. Thank you so much.